I absolutely wouldn't, especially with the stuff that's gone on with Facebook recently. I mean, yeah, our data is so valuable. To me, it's way more valuable than a cup of coffee. But I'm not surprised that they're doing this with, younger kids who this is all they know. So.
Yeah, but think about this. Like they're already in the digital age. They're already in the electronic age. So they're kind of used to, like, it's new for us, meaning like we didn't have all of our personal information out there, but it is now. But they were born into it. For a cup of coffee, why not?
College me would have done this, and I did do this for a pizza at Papa John's. I think I signed up for a credit card, but I gave them fake info. So that's the key.
I remember at Northwestern, they opened the first Chipotle, and they had us dress up like a burrito to get a free burrito, and we all did it. So you're right. College me would have done it.
When you're a poor college kid, you will do so much just to get something for free. I can't even tell you the amount of random events that I attended to get free stuff. But now I'm way more guarded with my information. I was just looking for an apartment, and I used a Google Voice number because I didn't want every realtor that I reached out to or every apartment to have my permanent phone number. When I do like ClassPass classes, I use my spam email. Like I try to take precautions now to not be giving away all my information, because once it's out there, you can't really get it back.
So let's up the ante, okay? Maybe I was gonna say maybe a pizza, but let's say a night at the Bellagio. Would you do it for that? Doesn't that
100%. What about a meal?
I knew I could get you guys.
What about a meal?
A meal?
At a restaurant that you really liked. Would you do it for that?
No, you just went from Bellagio to a meal.
Well,
I don't think so, yeah. But I think the lesson is everybody should...
There's a price for everything, Felicia.
A meal at Ruth's Chris. Where's this meal at?
In West Loop.
Okay.
I love it. The lesson, I think, is everybody should be Googling themselves every once in a while, because a lot of our information is already out there. And I think you should keep tabs on what people know about you, or what people who don't know you know about you.
Charlie, you better preach to these people at home.
Tell them.
Google yourself today.
So we're talking about friends turn into a relationship.
This was the show I was on for Bravo. It was called Friends to Lovers, so I actually dated my best friend, Darian.
Okay. Well, you're going to be the first one on this. Okay. Here are the tips they're giving. I want you to confirm or tell us no. So 1, it could be awkward at first. 2, be clear every step of the way. These are tips, okay? And also know that it could go wrong. 4, relationship compatibility is not the same. Friendships don't always translate well into dating, is what they're saying. And be honest about what's not working. Good
tips? How did it work out for you? You're our expert.
It did not work out. I was hoping it would. It was a fun little social experiment of the heart, if you will. And we got along great, but it's like when you know somebody that well, when you try to push that next level, no matter what, like you're always going to focus on the things that either you liked or didn't like about the friendship. And we just kept going back into what we called the friend zone. It was really tricky. It's also weird when you kiss your best friend for the first time, especially on TV.
And there were sparks or were not sparks?
There were some sparks, but there was also more awkward energy than sparks, I would say.
No.
Yeah, but I will say I have
How long were you friends before?
We were friends for about 6 years, and really good friends. So but I will say that I have seen this work for some other friends, like who maybe they weren't friends for as long of a time. If it's something that maybe like a 6 or year-long relationship blossoms into a romance, then I think it's actually possible.
I think that the best relationships are friendship comes first, right? So it might be a romantic relationship, but at the end of the day, you want someone that is your best friend. And when, like, I always picture being old with that person when you're finding your soulmate, being old and just sitting in a diner and having a cup of coffee. And it's like, is that the person that you actually want to hang out with? Because attraction, it all fades away in the end, right? So you just have to make sure that you're friends first, but definitely be mindful of not putting your other friends in an awkward position, because if it doesn't work out,
it's also weird for the other friends. I completely agree. Like our friends were like, what's going on? They'd see us like in date situations and they're like, why are you guys doing this together? Why are you holding hands? Yeah, it's a little weird.
I almost did this, you guys, but you know why I hesitated? Why? It was my high school friend I almost dated, and we just had, we really vibed. You know how you just vibe with, but anywho, we stayed friends because I didn't like how he talked to his mom.
Oh, really?
Well, that's important.
That's super important.
Wasn't that like, pat me on the back?
I think that's
how
great
they're going to talk to you one day.
I was like, how a man treats his mom says everything. And, you know, not that he's a bad person, but that's not something that would have worked for me.
Yeah.
Heck no.
Nope.
Good. Way to put your foot down.
Thanks, girl.
Well, I guess this just goes to show you that everyone has their own insecurities. He's such a cutie.
I think he's an attractive guy, and I think it reads even more so on camera than when you first see him. But, you know, you mentioned confidence, and I think that might be a big part of it.
Maybe he just wasn't feeling it, and so nobody else could see him that way, and it just perpetuated.
So I have a little inside info. I was at the premiere of Star is Born last week. I was so excited. It was awesome to be there. First of all, the movie is fantastic. The first half of it is one of the most perfect movies I've ever seen. Second half is still really good, but Gaga's amazing, but I did sense a little bit of incompetence from both of them, I have to say. He got up to introduce the movie at the premiere, and he was kind of like a little shy, and you know, it's his first directorial debut. The second Lady Gaga walked in the room, everyone took the attention from him and was like clapping for her in the background. So I sensed that, like, actually with both of them, you know, we see them as these huge, confident people, but I think that they have insecurities just like us. I am surprised though, because I've never talked to anybody who wouldn't blank Bradley Cooper.
I know. Hello. I'm glad he's not in the room right now.
That makes me want him even more.
Yeah, and I took a
because,
little.
like, he's not into himself. Like, you know, you don't always want the guys that know they're hot, that we know that they know that we're into them.
Yeah, I agree. But I snuck a little video at the premiere of the two of them talking.
Let's see it.
And yeah, basically what she was saying to him was that you're a big shot director now, so everybody in the room wants to blank you. So very contradictory to what this story has to say.
She's raising his confidence
Yeah,
levels.
I think they both do. They both really elevated each other. Yeah, that's me at the premiere. Yeah, totally.
That's your video?
Yeah, that's my video.
Look
I was
how
close.
cute he
I was
is.
close.
It's so exciting.
What did he smell like?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I got a chance to smell him, but she
You weren't
smelled
that close.
amazing.
Oh, you
I went
smelled
into, yeah, I went to hug
You
her. I gave her a little
smelled Lady
kiss.
Gaga.
Yeah. We're hoping to work with her on this event that we do, which we'll talk about later, called Gold Meets Golden in January. But oh, she was so much fun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
And
the one time I was starstruck. Yeah.
Yes. The other thing I would say with this is that, like, he doesn't look like a superhero. I guess, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder, who is determining that he's not blankable is crazy anyway. But
Agreed.
yeah, he doesn't look like a superhero. But neither did Chris Pratt. When he was on Parks and Rec, and now I think most people would agree he's blankable.
And I think that's one of the reasons people love Chris Pratt is, like, he's just relatable. Like, they're like, I could see myself being Chris Pratt. Yeah.
Again, a guy that doesn't take himself too seriously, that's not into his looks so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we went from people that don't take themselves seriously to people that take themselves way too seriously, right?
Fight about Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty silly. I don't know. At this point, I'm not surprised at anything that Kanye does. I mean, to me, he's almost like Trump, where it's like he's not going to change no matter what we do. So to me, this is a repeated pattern of behavior.
Yeah, I
What
mean,
do you think?
I think that this is a real thing that happens. I mean, my friends that have kids, I've watched them, and everyone has different parenting styles, but some of them just go 100% focus on the kids, and then I feel like even as a friend, I'm not getting very much attention when we hang out, and I see how they are with their husbands too, and it does happen, and I'm not just saying it's with women either, but yeah, it for sure does happen. Even with my boyfriend and I, we share a dog, and we've both agreed we give each other less attention now that we have another little creature to like look at and pay attention to. Yeah. You have a finite amount of attention and energy, and when some of it goes to someone else, this is the thing that happens.
So I can 100% do see this, and I think that it's definitely possible, but that still doesn't mean you get to just go rogue and do whatever and say whatever you want, and you're just a wild man. It's almost like he's another child that she has to watch.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what it feels like.
That's what he is.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
exactly
she can't be like they're together supposed to be entrenched into the children.
Yeah.
And hopefully find each other along the way, you know?
Part of me feels like, because I also on this episode, they were talking about how they got into a fight over a Band-Aid. He wanted her to bring him a flesh-colored Band-Aid, and she brought him a Jesus Band-Aid. And he was just so offended, saying he traveled all over the world for her to get her the best clothes, and she wouldn't get him the right Band-Aid. And I feel like they're setting us up to understand why they break up. I'm just going to call it.
No.
Oh, completely.
I don't know.
They will.
I have to say
I
that.
think sooner than later. Yeah.
You guys.
I don't want that to happen. I want them to succeed. I think that they are perfectly matched for each other in terms of how they both live their lives. But
if you
I don't know.
If you see Kanye on the streets of Chicago, you tell him to go home right now, okay?
Yeah.
Go home and spend some time at home.
Spend time with your family, exactly.
No. Oh, that's
Everybody
scary.
should. Everybody should.
Yeah.
So I have a relative, though. Let me get this quick story in. She actually was at my wedding. I got married in Cancun, Mexico. She was there, and she left my little bridal shower, my girls' party at the wedding, to go have a date night with her husband.
Aww.
They have 2 kids. They have twins. Hey. And she was like, we do this date night every Thursday. She makes her marriage a priority. Doesn't matter what they're doing. It clearly doesn't matter where they are in the world. And she makes sure that they have a date night.
How did that feel for you?
Well, I wanted her to be there, but I had to respect that she was putting her marriage and her family first. So
She made that decision. We all make those decisions.
She
and
said a
I have
lesson
to
for
respect
you.
that.
I mean, now you can do that going forward.
I thought it was a
Yeah.
good lesson.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you have to make that, you have to make your marriage a priority as well.